so ni got galele ni got jiketo jitedo kohig Wade Blevins do don kohig tall sko chaneli ne jalagi adelo kosti.
Melvina shop pouch dawa don't school District 10 skohine a jalegi skadug tribal council. I'm District 10 tribal council for Cherokee Nation.
All right, so what don't Melvina? Now, if you wanted to say, of course, Dini Lawig is
council.
council. How do you say like you're a tribal council member or a tribal council person?
They just say Jalegi Skadug Digalawig.
Digalawig. I'm on council. Okay, that makes sense. So we're really happy to have Miss Melvina back with us today for today's lesson. This is Cherokee 3 here at RSU TV, so hopefully that's the class you were looking for. So as you know, if you've been tuning in before, we've been going through and we're going to do our reading selection, which is a nursery rhyme, which I have really found beneficial. It's long, but it's got some really great words in there. And we had some really good discussion with Miss Melvina about different ways of saying things. And then, of course, we're going to continue learning about Tojuwa Sequanid and kind of what why we still respect him even today. I think probably Cherokees, regardless, all Cherokees respect Tojuwa Sequanid and his contribution to our people. He was definitely a person that lived for our people, I think, and had their welfare at heart in everything that he did. So, come, Idalena jalagi diwoni. All right. Dang it, I was going to change it again and I forgot. Okay, so let me see if I can remember. So, who killed the robin? Gago, geez, Galuga. Gago, geez, Galuga. Okay. Ya, udane, geez, squaya. Galjat ale gatlit aptana Gisquogo Giluga. I was like, I wouldn't make it make. And then, of course, as you know, if you're reading with us, we have the word utla and gila. So what to you, utla and gila, what is that to you?
Son was that he killed, or the other person killed, or Igilug means I did it. I individually killed Igilug.
Is that like maybe farther back in the past, or?
Igilug means present.
Present.
You just did it.
I just did it. And Gila?
Gila means you killed it. Past,
maybe a year ago.
Gila.
Okay, Gila. Okay, so Gilug is I just killed him. Okay, and okay, Galug is he killed it. He killed him just now. Like it just happened. There's just, the body's still warm. Okay, and do you say utla or ula? If you're talking about utla.
Utla means utla. He killed it, or
way back when.
When, yeah.
Okay.
Gila.
Gila.
I killed it. Gila.
Okay.
Gila. But it's kind of like past too. A Gila, like you killed it. I killed it some time ago.
Yeah, like you could say.
If you said G. Luke, you did it right now.
Right now. Okay. So as an example, just to kind of, so if like say it's fall and it's hog killing time, and you're talking to somebody and they said, "Oh, I just killed a hog." Sikwa Jiluk. Okay. And then if they were going to say, I killed a hog last week.
Jila.
Sikwa Jila. How do you say last week?
Like
Don't.
throw it away, Dan, or whatever passed, you know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, so those of you at home will now know. Utla and Jila is like in the past. Galug and Jilug.
Jilug is now.
Is right now, or just happened. It just happened. Okay. All right. And then this says Gog Ugo Uyo Husa. And then, of course, we talked about that you can use Uli Galiwoja instead of Uyo Husa. Okay. Aya Udane Tunk. Do you say tunk or turkey?
Tunk.
Tunk, yeah. And do you say gook or gookie?
Goog.
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 Yeah. I think a lot of Cherokee kids know that word. I think. Goog. Yeah. I remember. I can't even remember where I was now, but we were sitting outside somewhere, and a little bitty kid came up to his grandma, and he's like, goog, goog. Yeah.
Goog, goog is, there's another word for goog. This could be jar.
Oh, yeah.
Jar is goog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Isn't that interesting? I don't know.
The same as kamama, the elephant and butterfly, this.
Same. Yeah. And like goo, goo. Like Bartlesville.
Yeah, goo.
Yeah, goo. Okay. So aya utane tuk di jik tol doctana de go ha uyo husa or to go ha
Uwasa, like Uwasu Gohan, Galihoga, as he was dying, he saw with his own eyes.
With his own little eyes, with his own like dijik tol, my eyes, doctana. And then we also talked about the word gadi. Gadi, using, right? Which we use for those of you that have been tuning in. We use that word a lot, like whenever we will say like jalagi gadi, unole dawaton, using Cherokee. My name is blah da da da, and so we use that gadi a lot, don't we? It's kind of a useful word to have in your pocket there. Okay, and gog gika uni and who caught the blood? Uni uni. Is it uni or uni
Unia,
Uni
Geek Unia,
Gig uni ya utane ajat usti unawed octana. A little bowl, giga, agnia, gog, utlust, go tluskesti, or go. Would you say go tluskest or go tluskesti?
Go tluskest.
Yeah. Yeah. So gog utlust go tluskest. Who's going to make the covering, right?
Godlast. God goes guest. Or you could say Gusladot.
Yeah.
Cover.
Oh yeah, Utladot. Aya udane dok. And we talked about the different kinds of June bugs, and in Cherokee they're both dok. Ost aleyeg octana. Utlust or utladot. Utladot go tluskest. Now, is there a different way? Because this, if we look, those of you at home, if we look at this word go tluskest and down here, Gotleskest. One means he's going to make it, and
be
one of us,
making it,
I'm
yeah.
making it. How do you say, like, he's going to make it?
The Gorsan, Skinner, the Gorsan, like he's going to make it.
He's going to make it. And how do you say, I'm going to
I,
make
the
it?
Gorsan.
Ah.
Most words, changes, like to
Yeah.
different pretense,
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So, and I always think of the word like to understand, Goliga. He understands. Golka, I understand, right?
Goliga.
Yeah. Or no, other way, right? Golka is he understands. Golig is me.
Goliga.
So there are some words like that in Cherokee that are kind of tricky, but they're going to know what you mean. So, just do your best. Okay. Gog Ganisaha Askoskest
Yes.
who's gonna dig the grave,
Grave,
right? Aya utane uguk kodest aktana gaskoskest ganisa. Gaskoskest.
Kest,
I'm gonna do it,
Do it,
right?
yeah.
Gaskoskest ganisa. Is that and that's a ganisa. That's a grave,
Grave,
right? Is there another word for it, or is that the only word you know?
See, Asko. There is a Ganisoti that, just where it be buried,
Oh, yeah.
Ganisoti.
Ganisoti.
Mm-hmm.
Ganisa. Same kind of thing.
so.
Yeah. Okay, and then Gog Altatohusk Gesest Aya Utane Kog, right? Me, who's going to preach, who's going to be the preacher? Me, said the crow. Juhaged go whale Aktana with my Bible. Jiltatohusk Gesest. Or you also said that you can say, I'm going to preach.
The Galitadoma.
Digalitadoma. And then the next one says, Gog Digohuelis Gesest, who's going to be the clerk or the secretary. Aya Utane Noksi. Me, said the meadowlark. And remember, we talked about that word noksi. Can also be a star. Tla Yulsik or Yulsinan Yik. How do you say if it's not dark? There's another way to say it. Tla Yulsik Yik. Nulsiganyik. Nulsiganyik. And remember, we learned about that. If construction, if it's not something, Nulsiganyik. Remember, and we learned Nigolig Neoleganyik. Neoleganyik.
You don't know.
It was, if you don't know that person.
Listen.
Yeah, I had it in my head and I couldn't make it come out. We've on the way here, we were talking about COVID brain. And I actually had COVID a couple times, and I definitely suffer from COVID brain sometimes. I cannot make my brain work sometimes. Right. So, Nigoli. Gunyik. What is it?
Nigoligan.
Gunyik. There it is. And then it's the same. Nulsi Gunyik. Nulsi Gunyik. Or you can say Tla Yulsik Yik. Both means the same thing. Not if it's not dark.
Dark.
Okay. I'll be the secretary. Okay. This one. Gog Askonisk Gesest, who will be the mourner. Aya Utane Gul Diskoni. Disconi, the dove.
The dove, yeah.
Yeah. And Ostinel Disconi. I'm crying for my spouse,
mate.
my mate. Gisconiski gesesti. I will be the mourner. Okay, here's the one that we did last time. Gog uyohusa galadoti adlatline gesti. Who's going to carry the casket? Right. Who's carrying the casket? Adlatline gesti. And we talked about that related to the word strong. And the word and which word did you use to carry it?
Gone had the Ganidol. Or the Ganawida, or you could say the Ganawida, who's going to carry it, away. Or the
That's like Dikanawi. That's like carrying it away, right? Take it off, right?
Or you get the Ganidol, mean who's going to be carrying it now? The Ganidol.
Dikanidol.
Who's going to be doing it
okay.
now?
Could you say Dikanigest? No. Dikanit, no.
Dikanawi. Or you could say Dikanidol, Dikanidol. Or is it you could say also God Kanidon, mean like who's the carrier or
burial. Kanidon. Good. Okay. And then of course it says Aya Udane Tawod. Me said the hawk. You'll just you'll just what all night. All night.
Right?
Yeah, you'll just what you guessed it. If it's not all night,
yeah.
If it's not going to be all night. Say that one again.
Uljadawad Nagasan Gehesting.
Uljadawad Nagasan Gehest. So hopefully you can recognize in there some of the things we've been talking about. She said Uljadawad Nagasan Yegehest. Nagasan. You remember we talked about that Nagasan Yege. Negasan yigi if it's not this way, and this would negasan yige hest if it's not going to be. Okay, uljadakwat all night long. Uljadakwat. So how do you say all day?
Dodakwat.
Dodakwat. Dodakwat. And uljadakwat is all night.
Dodakwat is all day.
Okay. Uyohusa galadoti. Jihlaline gesti. Or I will carry it. I'm going to carry it. How do you say I'm going to carry it?
Uyohusa galanto the gene. The genie doli or the that would be the. You're carrying it.
Carrying it. Yeah. Next one. Gog Dini no Giski Kesesti. Who's going to be the singer? Right? Dini no Giski. Who's going to sing them, right? Who's going to sing? Aya Udane Kalokwa. Kalokwa. That's a thrush. I didn't know that word. That was a brand new one to me.
Me too.
Kalokwa. I don't even know that I would know what a thrush is if I saw it on the road or if I saw it out in a pasture somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think I know what. I mean, we have a picture. This is a picture of a thrush, guys. But I mean, it looks to me. I look at that picture, and that looks almost like a baby robin to me. Like a young robin before he gets his pretty feathers. But and to me, like Grandpa used to. There used to be like a bird that was about 3-4 inches tall, and he was a kind of a brown tan color, and he had kind of a long, skinny tail. And I always thought that that's what a thrush was. That's what he used to call a thrush. But there's probably more than one kind. I don't know. But
Yeah.
but in Cherokee, kalokwa is
Thrush.
a thrush bird. So if you know what a thrush bird is, now you know how to say it in Cherokee. And if you don't know what a thrush bird is, like me, if you're dumb, then you probably won't need that word. Anyway, so uwaitla, uwaitla, ukilasko. Oh, uwaitla, ukilasko. He's perched up in a bush. Dejinogisti. Whoops, that should be Dejinogiski.
Or
I'll
you
be
could
the
say,
singer.
if it's a branch, it looked like it's sitting on a branch, and you say uwangasha,
Uwangatla.
ukit.
Ukilasko or whatever. And then Dejinogesti. That means I'm going to sing, right? Dejinogesti. Sometimes, remember when we do songs, sometimes I'll say Didi Nogi, right? Let's us sing, okay? Or you can say Tinogi, you sing, right? Maybe they'll tell you, Star Tinogi, sing out loud, right? Or To Tinogi. And then Deji Nogest, I'm gonna sing. And I guess you could say, if somebody said, Star Tinogi, you could say, Star Deji Nogi.
Yeah.
I am singing loud. Right?
Yeah,
I'm trying. Yeah. 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 And used to, that's, I used to say that a lot, I'm not a good speaker of Cherokee, but I'm trying.
Yeah.
and because that's what I was taught to tell people. So they know, so they don't go off like a racehorse and leave me behind. And so let's go ahead and let's read through it one more time, guys. We'll read through it together. So this is Kako Dini no Giski. Okay. Ge se sti. Ge se sti. Gog Dini no Giski. Ge se sti. Okay. Ge se sti. Okay. Who will sing? Who will be the singer? Ya. Okay, different communities might spell this ya, ya, ya. Just depends on where you're from. Kind of sounds the same whenever you say it. Ya, ya. They know what you mean. Ya. Udane kalogwa. 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 Udane kalogwa. Me, said the thrush. Uwaitla'i. Okay, Uwaitla is a bush. Uwaitla'i means in the bush, right? Uwaitla'i. Ukilasko, he's sitting or perched. Ukitla, ukitla. That means to be perched up on something with your feet not touching the ground. And I think we've talked about that before. Deji no guest. I'm going to sing. Okay? Let's read through that again. So, u, wa, I, kla, I. U. Now this is gi, but we know because of the word, there's no such thing as ugilasko. So it's ki. Ukilasko. So this Y looking one can either say gi or it can say ki, depending on the word, like ukilasko or ukila. Okay? De, ji, no, ge sti deji no ge sti. I will sing. So that's our reading for today. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll go through our Redbird story, and we'll see how far we can get. Okay, today. So this says, he aska ayetle jikadog. Okay, do you know this man that's standing in the middle? And of course, they're talking about this picture. And Peggy and I, we had talked about how, in English, you could just say, he aska ayet. You know, and in English that would make sense, but Peggy and I talked about it, and Peggy's like, well, to me that in Cherokee there needs to be another word in there, ayet what, and so we have to put jikadog because in the picture they're all standing up, if they were sitting, if they were seated, ayet juot. Seated, that the one that's sitting there, or whatever they might be doing, you would have to describe that in Cherokee. Is that kind of how it is in your mind too?
The way they're seated or standing.
Yeah, you have to describe a little more. You can't just say middle. So he olegis he aska ayetle jikadog. So do you see the man standing in the center? Technically, is what that says. But in English, you could just say, do you know the man in the middle? Or do you know the man in the center? Okay. Niole Ganyik, Redbird Smith, do doy. Okay. If you don't know him, Redbird Smith, do doy, was his name. Do doy. Okay. Told you Sikwani do don't Jalaki Gandhi. In Cherokee, his name is Toju Sikwani. Okay. And then the next one, Sita Ojali Helega He na Julsked Oskai. We still are grateful, right? Ojali Helig. Ojali Helig. We're still grateful to this here important man, Julsked Oskai. Julsked can mean important. It can mean. It can also mean like almost sacred in a way, can't it?
That it's, you could be.
I mean, to me, in Cherokee, this word ulsked has more meaning than just important in English. How does? What do you think?
Yeah, ulsked, like he's well respected. Somebody that's looked up to.
Yeah, like almost like akanad or adawe. You don't hardly ever hear that word adawe. You don't hardly ever hear that word outside of the Bible. They use that for
angel.
Angel, yes, that's one word for, but and really all that adawe, that's like that's like almost somebody
that can foresee or can feel exceptional feeling. I mean, out of the.
They're exceptional, like almost like magical beings, right?
Yeah.
Is that how you would kind of?
That's what I would say. A Darwin would be somebody that's can foresee or tell or something. That has a different abnormal feelings or something.
Like kind of those special skills. It's like the Dana Wisk, but more, right?
More.
Yeah. So, okay. So anyway, we went off and chased rabbits a little bit, but this is important for you guys to know because this is a part of our culture and it's a part of our lives that, really it's starting to disappear. Those things.
Even those words, you don't hear that adawe, you don't hear it no more.
No, you really don't, because we really don't have people in the world
with those skills.
that can do that. Yeah, yeah. So, but it's important for you to know, and sometimes whenever you look at old stories or things like that, and you come across, even some old writings and things like that, you'll come across that word adawe, and now you know what that means. So, all right. Sagu yagayo chanel skoe school hig skohe u dante toju wasikonid. Okay, so we talked about that, and we also talked about, you could say neladu hig skohe, and you could do it that way for 1850, for the year 1850. Okay. Ko hichik guye goni sonela du sine o jali heli go udeti yiska. So still today, guye goni is July. Sonela du sine 19th o jali heli go. We celebrate. Udeti yiska, his birthday. Okay. So this ojali heligo, that word is a very common word in Cherokee, isn't it? I mean, it can mean grateful, it can mean celebrate, it can mean happy. What else?
Kind of honor.
Honor, yes. Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. You're going to hear that word a lot. If you're around Cherokee speakers, you're going to hear it. And even if you're on Facebook, and you'll see them say "Uli helis jadeti yiska," happy your birthday, right? Jadeti yiska, that means your years. Udetiyud is a year, right?
Udetiyud is a year.
Yeah, so jadeti yiska is like the years that have happened to you. Is that how would you really translate it? I mean, I know we say it's your birthday, but
Jadeti, it would just be kind of like Udeti, but you're telling them your birthday. Jadeti, your birthday.
Yeah, and it's related to that word for year. Year. Okay, so jadeti yiska, or jadeti yiha. Okay, so tlaskeno, however, do yoganto do udeti yiska. Okay, do yoganto. Tlaskeno do yoganto. We don't. However, we don't know
the exact date.
Yeah, do udeti yiska. The real birthday is kind of what that's saying, right? Yeah. Okay. Toju wasi kwanidu udeti yiska yinulstan. Ani gduwagi ani yowiya gatiyo anego. Okay, so in your head, do you know what we're talking about here? Okay, tojuwa sikwanidu deti yiska yinulstan. Ani jalaki ani yowiya gatiyo anego. Okay, so hopefully you picked out at least the word tojuwa sikwanid, because that's the guy we're talking about. Udeti yiska, his birthday, yinulstan, when it happens. Ani gduwagi, the Katuwas, ani yowiya, the Katuwa Indians, or the Katuwa
society.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Nigaduhawk or Nighthawks or something.
Yeah. Have you also heard the word Anisanoi?
Anisanoi, that's Nighthawk.
Yeah.
Anisanoi.
Yeah, the ones, and then that's just like the ones that go at night, right? The ones that are
the dances at night.
That are at night. Gatillo. Gatillo is our word for the ceremonial grounds. Anego, they go. They habitually go there. They don't just go there one time. They go there every year. Every time. Tojuwa sikwanidu deti yiska yinulstan. Every time it happens, right? We just had it when we were filming this. We just had this just a few weeks ago. Yeah, and a lot of people went, and unfortunately, I didn't get to go. Have you ever gone?
Yes, and I wished I had now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard though for us that live so far up north, because it's a long ways, and of course back in the day, people didn't have, well, of course, back in the day, they had just a wagon, and so it would take days
To get there,
to get there, and they'd go down there and they would stay for
weeks.
a long time, and before they would come back, and they'd go down and they'd visit and everything. But even even later after cars, that's still a long way for a car to go, especially if you got an Indian car, right? Might make it, might not, but and I think still today, because we're so far up north, it's still a couple hours, to get down there.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I remember going a few times as a kid, but we didn't go very often. I remember going just once or twice. We didn't go that much because it was so far. Yeah. Okay. Gato ke tojuwa sikwanid uskedjik. So why is he so important? Tojuwas udod pigsmith do doe. Sikwanid talagiga do doe. Okay. Now, would you say it that way, or would you say jalagi no sikwanid do doe?
Either way,
Makes sense either way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sikwanid jalagi do doe. Either way. Only, and we talked about Wusted. About their last name, right?
Uh-huh.
And that word, when she first talked about that, it kind of tickled something in the back of my head, and then it kind of finally came to me that it sounds a lot like the word root, right? Unosted. And a wustedle. And I think probably the words are related, because whenever you think about it, that last
root,
name is the root, right? It's of the family tree, right? It's they all carry through the male line. And now I know down there, of course, Redbird Smith in Cherokee, his name's Tojuwa Sikwanid. Tojuwa was his name. Sikwanid was his father's name. So he would carry his father's, whatever his father's name was, that would be become his last name. Now, is that how they used to do it at home too, a long time ago?
They did, and then sometimes they put name on like where they live. Like if they're living on a hill, they may be called Gadoos,
Oh yeah, like on the hills?
On the hill, yeah. They had different ways of naming people, like, or even, I know a man, they called him John Ooptost, because he had one eye that, that was closed, and they called him Ooptost, John Ooptost.
Yeah.
So there were different ways they named people back then.
Well, and we still do that today, even in English. Even our Cherokee people that are non-speakers, we still have that habit. You say, oh, John that lives by the river, or or John that has the tow truck service, or whatever. They'll say,
It's descriptive names.
Yeah, they will. Yeah.
Who they're connected, just like Smith. It's connected to him being a
blacksmith.
Smith.
Yeah. Gotlan. Gotlan. So so it's still common, even today. It's still a part of our culture, and that's one of the things that I think is so interesting, is that even our people that aren't speakers, there's still a lot of these things that we still do, and we just don't think about
it. Yeah.
It's just, I never thought about, things like nicknames. It's, everybody had a nickname, and everybody, and I never thought anything about it until and I was like, oh, well, that goes back to when we all spoke Cherokee.
Sure, yeah.
And we still have that in our DNA. So anyway, but here this sentence says, Only Smith ani yoneg do no, they named him. Okay? Ose Gotlan ski Dege Saint used, because he was a blacksmith. Gotlan Toju hua uji, Lizzie Hildebrand do don't Ijul ajalagi le a de jike se. Jalagi uwet di stosk dalustane, huh? Lizzie udod. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Sometimes my mouth gets ahead of my brain, and and then I have to go back, and I'm like, wait, did I say that right? Does that make sense? And if it doesn't, say no, wait, go back and say that word again. That's so die stosk dalustane, huh? Lizzie udod. Yeah.
Miller, yeah.
He worked as a miller. Okay. Ijul chukayele ke uweta chalagi nanda ne ha do no he yune. So they both, whether they were full blood or not, we don't know for sure, because there's even I think people in the family don't agree.
Yeah.
Some say, oh no, Lizzie Hildebrand she was Cherokee,
yeah.
and some say, well, yeah, she was Cherokee, but she was also Yoneg, but and of course back in these times it didn't matter what your blood was, it mattered, did she speak Cherokee, did she live in a Cherokee community, did she live like a Cherokee, and of course she did, and so to a lot of people it's like, well then. She's Kali, she's full up. She's full Cherokee, right? Because that's how it was back then. It wasn't about this as much as it was about how you lived and where you lived. Ijul chukayoleke uwete chalaki nanda neha do no hiyune. Okay, they both believed in those
old Cherokee ways.
In those old Cherokee ways of doing things. Okay. Didana Wiski Gese Udod. So his dad was Didana Wisk, was a medicine person. And so New Danas told you when he was born, or before he was born, right? New Danas. Is that before he was born?
New Dan, yeah, before he was born.
Yeah. Told you what? Anika yeleke dini no whiskey. Uni no se led sikonid. Told you what? Didatine nidagalstani sa. Nigalstanisa. He was going to become Klaskin. He hest Nigalstana. But he wouldn't
be living when it happened.
When it happened, yes. He wouldn't live. He wouldn't live when it happened. He wouldn't be alive when it happened. Okay. He hest. Okay. Sikwanid unasa agusa sam tojuwa udehodi Sikwanid young pig unasa requested or asked. It's unasa is like you're asking somebody to do something, right?
Yeah, or seeing to do something.
Yeah.
Unasa.
Yeah. Yeah, that word doesn't mean in English, we just say ask, but in Cherokee it's a little bit more than that. I mean it's
seeing for or the
or almost like tasked them with doing something, right? It's slightly different than just asking a question. Uta done. That's to ask, right? Uta dane. But this is unasa, and I mean, yes, it means ask, but he's asking him something specific, right? I mean, what can you talk about that just a little bit? Can you? I mean, the difference between uta dane and unasa.
Uta dane means that would be like asking. Uta dane to ask. Unasa, no, like you sinned to for it or something,
Yeah.
that they send or ask for whatever info or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of the same but different, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
to a
same
speaker,
speaking.
it changes it slightly, right?
Kind of like music. If you go to a high note, lower note,
Yeah. It's still the same, but it kind of changes it just a little bit, right? So, Augusta Sam, Creek Sam, Tojuhua Udehiodi, to teach. Tojuhua, right? Asked to teach. Okay? So, Anoji, Ayowi Yagese, Augusta Sam. So Augusta Sam, Creek Sam, was Nachi. Why they called him Creek, I don't know, but he was Nachi. They didn't call him Anoji Sam, they called him Augusta Sam. Okay? Nuls Tanun, Le Uweti, Unino Hetlan, Ani Jalaki, Ani Gusa, Ale, Ani Noji, Doctor Augusta Sam. Okay, does that make sense to you?
I did. Read it again.
You want me to read it again? Okay, it says, Nuls Tanuna Ale Uweti, Unino Hetlan, Ani Jalaki, Ani Gusa, Ale Ani Noji, Doctor Augusta Sam.
He knew about the old ways and the ways of the others.
Yeah.
Not only his tradition, but the Creek ways too,
Yeah.
and that he could teach.
Yeah.
And all that.
So let's see how close I was, right? Yes, Creek Sam knew the ways and stories, old stories, Uweti, Unino Hetlan, of the Cherokee, the Creek, and the Nachi. Yeah.
That's all.
Rah, yay! Yay! I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of, because, even though I can read it, but if you don't say it correctly,
yeah.
then it doesn't make sense. So, all right. Now, Ost Adelo Kwaski Gehen Tojuwa. Ost Adelo Kwask. Adel Kwask Gehen.
He was a quick learner.
He was a quick learner, yeah. Udanto Ale To Gawonisk Gehen. He was
good-hearted, soft talker. So
yeah. Do yukta no le Jiyukta Gehen.
he was honest and straightforward.
Honest and straightforward. Okay, so this is really good. Ost Adel Kwask, a good student or a fast learner, right? Gehen was Tojuwa. Okay. Udanto, that means he was friendly, he was nice.
Had a kind heart.
Kind heart, good heart, yeah. It's related to the word for heart. Adanto. Udanto. He was kind-hearted, big-hearted, right? So when we come back, we're just about out of time. So when we come back next time, we will pick up with this sentence right here, and we will go on with it and talk about these individual words, because there's some good descriptive words in there that you can use in your everyday conversations with people, in everyday descriptions about people. Hopefully you're describing people in a positive way and not in a negative way. So Ms. Melvina, really appreciated you being here, and would you come back with us when your time allows?
When time allows, I will.
Osta. Okay, so from all of us here at RSU TV, I just want to say wadon and don't dago.
Wadon.